welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk a little bit about using gel pens in our coloring books. I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks on how you can use your white gel pens. I'm going to show you a little bit of how you could use your colored gel pens as well, your glitter gel pens and all of that. I've done a few videos on gel pens. I've showed you a little bit of gel pen blending, and I have showed you a little bit of how to add accents with gel pens, but some of those videos are just kind of all intermixed with my other videos. This video will be another video in my tips and tricks on how to improve your coloring skills, but it's going to be all in one video. I don't know how much we're going to be able to cover in this video, but I'm going to try to pack quite a lot into it. If you check the description box below, anything that you've seen in this video, I will make sure that it is all linked down in the description box below. And you will also find down there a link to my Facebook group, as well as my Etsy store and my email list, as well as my Patreon if you would like to support me there. Let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first thing I want to talk about is which books your gel pens are going to perform best in, because sometimes when you're using your gel pens and you're trying to maybe put your white gel pen over your colored pencil, your gel pens will clog a little bit and they won't perform as well. And I don't know, that's just a thing. Some of them perform better than others, and I've got quite a few gel pens here that we are going to use and try out. And I even have these new Art and Fly gel pens that I've not even gotten to try out yet. Art and Fly was kind enough to send these to me, and they were just kind of sitting over there in a pile waiting for me to use them in a video. So lately I have been using this one, and this one has always performed best for me. This is the Uniball Signo, and it has a 0.8 tip, I believe. And it usually performs better when you're using gel pens in your coloring books. You always want to make sure you use a wider tip. So this is my jelly roll, and I don't usually have that much success with my jelly rolls, but we're going to try it out again today. But you could see that the tip on this one is a little bit thicker. I bought mine in a 3-pack, and so I got a 03, a 05, and then this 08. And this 08 seems to be the only one that performs decently in any of my coloring books because it has a wider tip. So as far as coloring books that your gel pens are going to work best in, I'll suggest a few different coloring books, and then I will also show you the paper that I like to use when I'm doing anything that is mixed media, where I'm using alcohol markers or gel pens. Usually when I'm using alcohol markers, I'll mix it in with my colored pencils and my gel pens as well. One book that is really great for that and has a smoother paper is this Romantic Country book. I've got this here, Romantic Country 1, and this is Romantic Country the Second Tale, and then this is Romantic Country the Third Tale, and I believe that this one is possibly out of print now. The first one was very hard to find for quite a while. And this is my absolute favorite coloring book. If y'all have been following my tips and tricks on how to improve your coloring skills series, you will know that I use this coloring book quite a lot in that series, and I have a page I've been working on here just to show you all the different tips and tricks that you can use in your coloring books. So mine is a little bit scarred up, I guess is a good word. Because I've used it so much, and this is one of the first coloring books I ever had when I started my coloring journey. So some of the pictures that have been colored in here are from when I was very much a beginner. So I was lucky enough in the very recent sale, the promotion Amazon had, where you can buy 2 and get 1. I was able to get 2 more brand new copies. So I'm very excited about that. And I ordered 2 because it's my favorite coloring book, and I don't know if they are going to end up going out of print like the Third Tale has. Another couple books that are really great that have the smoother paper and would work well with your gel pens are these Pop Manga books. I have the Cute and Creepy one here, and then I have the Mermaids and Other Sea Creatures. But the paper in here is rather smooth, and so it just performs better when you lay your gel pens down on top of your colored pencils. And then this one is the Mermaids and Other Sea Creatures. And I'll just show you a couple pages in this one. And I don't even think I've colored in this book yet, but it does have the smoother paper, so it would work better with your gel pens than something that has a lot more tooth to it. And then another one that I would suggest is anything by Joanna Basford. This is my World of Flowers book, and we all know and love this book, but the paper is a little bit smoother. It's not as smooth as the Romantic Country. You can actually, if you rub your hand over it, you can actually feel a very little bit of tooth in these books, but the paper is smoother. And so these tend to work okay when you're trying to use gel pens and layer it over your colored pencils as well. And then anything by Hannah Carlson is really great as well. This one is Jewelry Box, and I don't think I've colored a whole lot in this book. I think I might have started a couple things, but the paper in these books is much smoother as well. So your gel pens are going to work pretty well in these books. I don't know about alcohol markers because I've never used alcohol markers in this book, but if I were to use alcohol markers in any book, I would just slide something behind the page. Here's another one that would probably work really, really well with your white gel pens, or any gel pens for that matter, because the paper in here is actually very smooth. This paper actually feels, let me see, but I think it feels smoother. This paper does feel even a little bit smoother than the Erie, and I believe that Rita Berman's books also have smoother paper. And one of my all-time favorite coloring books to use any type of mixed media in are these Color It books. And I did show a demonstration in this book where I did some gel pen blending. Okay, so here's where I did some gel pen blending, and there is actually a full tutorial and a flip through of this book on my channel, and I'll make sure that is linked in the upper right hand corner. But if you have the right gel pens, I love to use the Color It gel pens. If you're using the right gel pens, they will blend beautifully. And so this is my Color It gel pens, and they blend wonderfully. You do have to make sure that you put the right colors together so that you could get a really nice blend, but you can always test that off to the side before you bring them to your coloring books. But these coloring books, any of the Color It coloring books, are really, really nice because they are also spiral bound and they are all perforated. So you could tear your pages out if you wanted to and just work with them without working in the actual book. Okay, so this is a page that I did that was very, very mixed media. And so I'm going to show you just a few of the things you can do with gel pens and what I did on this page. This page probably has a little bit of everything on it. So I know that the colored pencil is all my Pablo colored pencils. And then like here where I colored in the little headlights on the vehicle, this right here was done in gel pen. I also took a gel pen and I put this little detail all around her jeans. And then in all of these little loop-de-doo things or whatever they are, I colored all of those in with gel pens. And I believe that this right here is markers. So I sort of combined my gel pens with my markers, and I think that this is glitter gel pen because I could see some of the glitter. Some of them may be glitter and some of them may not be. And I believe that some of this is also glitter gel pens. I'd have to go back and look at the tutorial, but there was a tutorial on this that I did where I showed you how to do this background. I'm really not sure if this is gel pens or Posca that I drew these stars in with, but you can do the same thing if you were using gel pens and just draw those little stars in on a background to make like a night sky type background on one of your coloring pages. All of these little dots here for the accents and such, those are all done in gel pens. And then I believe some of this down here is all glitter gel pens. So you can see that you can add quite a bit of accents onto any coloring page just by using gel pens. When I printed out this page to color, knowing that I was going to use a lot of mixed media on it and different things, like my alcohol markers and my gel pens and my colored pencils, I wanted to make sure that I had the right paper. This is the paper that I always use. This is the Hammermill Premium Color Copy Cover, and it is a smoother paper, and your gel pens work really, really nicely on this paper if you want to print something out, practice your gel pen blending, or anything like that. This is the paper that you want, and I'll make sure that this is linked in the description box down below as well. So this is my Hammermill paper, which is much, much smoother. And this is my Spring Hill paper that I always use for my colored pencils. And this is the 80-pound Spring Hill paper. But I'm going to test something out, and I want to test out a few of these gel pens. And I'll show you the differences on each one of these papers. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay down some of my Prismacolors here. And then I'm just going to come back with my gel pen, and I'm going to try to go over them and see what happens. So I'm going to do the same thing over here on the Hammermill. And these pencils, they lay down just so much differently on the smoother paper, but you can still use them on the smoother paper. You're just not going to have the same feel or the same effect that you will with a much more textured paper. And some people like to use a smoother paper for their colored pencils. And I've used my colored pencils in the Color It books, which has a smoother paper, and the Erie books, where the paper is much smoother. But I have found in the Erie books that the Polychromos colored pencils work much better than the Prismacolors. Of course, you can use the Prismacolors, and I've used the Prismacolors all throughout my tips and tricks on how to improve your coloring skills series. But when I tested out the Polychromos, it was like a dream, like coloring book or paper and colored pencil mix. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with my Uniball Signo, and I'm going to come over here and see if I can get this to do anything on the more textured paper. And see, it is laying down, but you can barely see it. Okay, so now let me get it running again, because sometimes when you try to do that on this kind of paper, it just doesn't work so well. So let's come over here on the smoother paper and see what happens. Okay, so maybe this gel pen is just not happy because it is not working. Let's go ahead and try our jelly roll. And I'm going to try the jelly roll on the smoother paper first so I don't mess it up or clog it up first. But look, see, the jelly roll goes right down there, right on top of that colored pencil on the smoother paper. And if I come over here, let me add a little bit more of this indigo blue, just to fill some of that tooth of the paper so I don't mess up my gel pen. And then let's see over here. Okay, so the jelly roll does lay down, but it looks a little bit different. You can see the difference in the way that it looks, and I could feel a difference when I'm laying it down. And I could feel that texture, and it just goes down much smoother on the smoother paper. And I feel like I can make my lines exactly the way that I want to on the smoother paper as well. And it actually looks a little bit different if you look at the two. Okay, so let's go ahead and test out these Art and Fly white gel pens and see how these perform. I am not sure with these though. These look like they are much thinner. They're definitely not a 08 tip. And it doesn't really say on here exactly what they are. So let's just try them out and see. Okay, so they are going down, but you can see that they're definitely not as thick as that other one because that jelly roll was a 08. But it does go down on there. And even a 1mm tip on your colored pencils, sometimes you can get a 1mm. I think some of my Color It gel pens are 1mm, and they work really well for lining or for blending any of your gel pens together. Okay, so now it's going down, and I can actually see it. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so let's try it back over here again. Maybe I should lay down this even thicker and see what happens here. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, so that one does lay down pretty nicely. I don't know, I think actually on the Spring Hill paper, wow, this Art and Fly is nice. It's actually completely covering the colored pencil. And that's the indigo blue, that's a really dark color. Let me try that over here on this one. Okay, so it's working really well on the smoother paper as well. Wow, I like these Art and Fly gel pens. They sent these to me, so I'm not sure how much these cost, but you get 3 of them in this little pack here. And are they working better than my jelly roll? See, the jelly roll now I'm not even getting to work at all. So many people love these jelly rolls, but I have just had nothing but problems with my jelly rolls. Let me lay a little bit more pigment down here and then come back over here and try to use, there it goes. But let's see how it is at actually covering. And see, I'm seeing lines. Do you see those lines? So yeah, it's just kind of moving around. It's not actually covering. Oh, there it goes. Now it's flowing a little bit better. And it is covering. Okay, so that one works a little bit better, but if I'm looking at this, this actually doesn't look as white as those other gel pens that I've used. Let me try it again over here. Let me do this a little bit thicker. Now see, I really can't get that many layers down with my colored pencils just because the paper is so much smoother. Let me see if I could actually get this to cover. And see, it's moving around a lot more. Now let me go back one more time and try my Art and Fly. And that one is actually covering a lot better. It is actually, oh gosh. Okay, so I guess you need to come in here and just wait for it to dry. Okay, there we go. So yeah, just add one, let me try the same thing with these two. I've already given up on the Uniball. Okay, so here's my jelly roll, and I'm going to start at the top and just come down without going over it, because it seems that's how the lines are being created. But look how much whiter this Art and Fly gel pen is. I'm just going to wait for it to dry and then maybe go over it one more time, and let's see how white we could get this. And then come over here and try it again with this jelly roll. And sometimes it is better to just use Posca. Let me show you how the Posca works. So if I just lay this down on here and then lay some of this over here, and then I came back with my Posca, your Posca is just going to clearly just make it white. And then come over here and do it on this one too. Now see, it looks like the Posca here performs much better on the smoother paper or the Hammer Mill paper than the Spring Hill paper, because this just instantly, on the first layer, it just instantly turned gray and you couldn't even hardly see it. And here it is actually pretty white. I could see it much more on this paper than I can over here. Let's come back over here with another layer. Yeah, so I like the Posca much better. So like I said, anytime you're using mixed media, it's always better to use a smoother paper. Now let me show you a little bit of something here in a coloring book. So I grabbed Romantic Country. So I've got indigo blue, denim blue, and light cerulean blue. I just created a little bit of background here just really quick with these three colors because I wanted to show you a little bit of something. Actually, I forgot to color this bottom part down in here with green. Okay, so I grabbed three greens, and maybe I can just go ahead and do something here to make the grass green really quick. Okay, so I went ahead and colored all this in green, so I've got a full background here, and I didn't try to be any extra artistic or anything like that. I just wanted to be able to show you a little something that you could do with your gel pens to make something look really, really white. And I picked this little egg here because it had this adorable little bunny inside, and I wanted to show you exactly how to make this bunny look white. So I've got three grays over here, actually two grays, and then a white. So I chose cool grays. I've got 20% cool gray, 10% cool gray, and then my white. So I'm going to come over here, and as most of you know, you use grays to make something look white just to add the shadows. And I'm just going to add these colors in wherever, just to create a little bit of a shadow over here to the side of this bunny, and then maybe right in here where his tail would be. And then I'm going to come in with the 10% cool gray, and I'm going to sort of just blend that all right into that color. And then maybe a little bit in the tail here as well. Then I'm going to come back and just go over it with my white just to bring all of those colors together. And it's going to help this bunny to stand out and look more white because of the background. And that's why I wanted to make sure that I had that in there. Now see, he really doesn't look like much of anything at this point. And he just looks like a white bunny, but he doesn't really look white. So let me come in here and just add a little bit more shadow. And I had gotten a little bit of the blue inside the bunny over here when I was initially doing it, but that's okay. I'm not trying to make this look perfect. I'm just trying to show you a little trick that you could do with your colored pencils and your gel pens. Let me get a little bit of a darker gray just to create some more shadows. Okay, so I have my 30% cool gray here, and I'm just going to add just a little bit in the places where I want more of a shadow. And it would be just right around here where I've got this little bow, and over here to the side where I wanted to create the most drastic shadow, and then just in here in his little tail. Okay, so I think I'm going to use the Art and Fly gel pen since it seemed to work the best. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line the bunny and get rid of that black line that's around the bunny. And then so it'll just look like an image of a bunny, and he will look so much cuter. But see how it just completely got rid of that black line? And I'm going to do it on this side. And if you find that you're using your gel pens and they're not performing as you want them to and not laying enough white down, just go back over them a second time. But you could see I'm sort of laying the color down and then lifting it and laying it and lifting it. So that way I kind of spread the color around. And you can still see all those places that I laid a little bit of a shadow. I'm wondering if I should do it to the tail as well. Yes, that looks good. Oh, I love it. So you could still see where the tail is because I had quite a bit of extra or the darker gray in there, but look how cool that is. And now it just looks like a silhouette of the bunny, and it just looks super cute. And if you wanted to come in and just color that little bow, what color do we want that bow to be? Let's make him a little pink bow. So let's go ahead and color the bow in here. And I'm just straight coloring this, and you can do that. Don't always feel like you need to blend your colors together and make something look absolutely perfect, because you can just straight color something and then you can come back with your gel pens and make it look even cooler. And I'll show you that after I get some of this color laid down. Okay, so I've got all my flowers colored in and my... Let's go ahead and try the jelly roll since we didn't try the jelly roll and see if it works just as good. Ah, okay, it's working. Oh, I think I like the Art and Fly better. I have never had much luck with my jelly rolls, and I don't have that many of them because I really love my Color It gel pens and other gel pens that I have. Now you can come in here and actually let's try the Uniball gel pen now and see if we can line these flowers. And I don't even think this one is working. And this used to be my absolute favorite gel pen. I think I might have gotten it moving again. Let's see here. No, it's just, oh, there it goes. Okay, I got it moving again. So we can just go around and frame the flowers too if we wanted to, and then put that little dot in the center. Yeah, no, I don't like that one, and I feel like I'm ruining it. I'm gonna go back to the Art and Fly. And let's see how this one does. Much better. And then that little dot in there. And then I can come over here and do these. I love my cute little white bunny. He turned out so adorable. And if you wanted to come in here and make this really look cool, you can always just completely get rid of the black lines, and you can just go over the entire thing with your gel pen. I assume some of you could just come around the entire thing and it would look absolutely perfect, but my hand is not as steady as some of you probably. So I prefer to do it this way. And then if you don't like the way it looks, of course, you can always come back and add another layer. But I really like how that turned out. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish this really quick. Okay, so I got that all colored in, and now I'm going to come back here and finish the entire egg off, which I didn't really think I was going to do in this video, but I figure why not? Let's just finish it off, and I'll probably have to speed some of this up just so y'all could see it all coming together. And see, another thing the gel pens are really great for, if you see that I got out of the lines there, if the paper is pretty white, and this paper is not white, but if you come back and you just go over it, it sort of hides where you went out of the lines. And then after it dries, I probably just go back over it again. And it doesn't seem to be dry yet. And if you wanted to try your Posca, you could always come back with your Posca. And sometimes the Posca works even better. See how I'm getting a much truer white here with the Posca? I think the Posca made it look much better. Okay, so now we have a cute little egg. And I didn't think I was going to color the whole entire thing in, but I think it looks really super cute. And we were able to use the Posca and the gel pens. And now I think I'm going to show you a little bit of gel pen blending and how they blend together, because this is just one way that you could use your gel pens. Okay, so we're going a little bit further than gel pens because I want to be able to show y'all something. But you see this little grass, or the little pieces of grass down here? I have a green Posca. Let me go ahead and get it flowing. And these are rather thick, so I don't think I want it flowing too much. But I could come in here with my green Posca. And look at that. Oh, this is so cute. And now it looks completed. I love it. So look how many different things we did just on this one egg. So I was able to frame in this bunny, make it look very white, and make it look like just a really cute little silhouette of a bunny. I was able to line everything with the gel pen, getting rid of all of those dark lines. And we did some straight coloring so y'all can see that you don't necessarily always have to make sure that you have color combinations and everything, especially when you're bringing in other mediums and you want to use other things like your gel pens or even your alcohol markers or whatever else you're using, because you can straight up lay a layer of alcohol markers and come back with your gel pens, or with your colored pencils. You can use your colored pencils to add all the extra shadows, depth, and dimension. But this still has depth and dimension with what I did with the colored pencils and then the overlay of the gel pens, and I think it turned out really super cute. But the Posca pens do come in all of these colors. They come in a lot more colors than this. This is just what I have. This is the 8-pack, but they come in a big, huge pack. Our adorable little egg is done, and I think the bunny turned out so cute. But this is how you can make any object white. You can apply that even if you're, like right now for Halloween, maybe some of you are coloring ghosts. You can apply this same technique to coloring a ghost and get the same exact effect. I was really actually kind of surprised by this Art and Fly gel pen that they sent me, because normally I would use a gel pen that has a tip that is a little bit thicker. Like I said earlier in the video, this one is rather thin. Normally I would use the 1mm or the 0.8mm gel pens, but I guess this was okay here because I was outlining a much smaller area. And I think now I'm going to pull out another book and I'm going to show you a little bit of gel pen blending for those of you that haven't seen that yet. So I'm going to grab my colored gel pens and show you how to do that. So these are my colored gel pens, and it comes in 2 separate cases. Let me go ahead and open this one. You always will know the glitter pens because you could see that the case is glittery. It's a really nice case. So when you order these, they do come with the cases, and they are super nice. I have had these for quite a long time. They do come with refills and everything else you need, and these have been great. And they, most all of them have the 0.8 or the 1mm tip on them. And so if you're covering a larger area, it makes it much easier to cover that larger area, and it also makes it much better for blending. I have other gel pens as well, and I've reviewed another gel pen set, I think the Tamnet, on my channel. I'll link that in the upper right hand corner if you'd like to see that. And I also did some gel pen blending with those, I believe. If you were to check out both of those videos, you can see why the wider tip on the gel pens would work much better for gel pen blending rather than the thinner tip. Okay, so this is another color it book. Like I said, they work beautifully if you want to use gel pens or alcohol markers or any other medium. They also work great with your colored pencils, and you can actually do a lot of mixed media in these books. So this one is their Mandalas book, volume 2, and I have a mandala in here that I am just going to demonstrate how to blend with your gel pens. Now when you're getting ready to blend with your gel pens, just like with colored pencils, you always want to test out your colors on a scratch sheet of paper. So this is the Hammer Mill paper, and I'm going to choose a couple colors and I'm going to try them out and see how they blend together, because when you're blending your gel pens, the key is to really choose the right colors that are going to blend together very smoothly and have a very smooth transition. Okay, so I chose a few colors here, and I'm going to see how they blend together. Now, I didn't get these out of the glitter pack, but in the pack that is not glitter and just their regular pack, there is one section that has just glitter pens. So this one is a glitter one and this one is not. So I'm going to see how well these blend together. And these colors go really nicely together. Now when you're blending with your gel pens, I always recommend just leaving your gel pens out and leaving the caps off so that you can sort of just keep alternating when you're trying to color whatever it is you're coloring, because you don't want your ink that's on the paper to dry up, because then it will be much more difficult to get the blend that you need to get. Let's go ahead and try these colors now. There's 3 colors here, and I think I'm going to go blue, green, yellow, and I think these are all actually glitter. So let me go ahead and take these tops off. So we'll lay down the blue, and you want to get enough of that down there on the paper so that you could come in at that transition and just pull that color down. And then I'll grab my yellow one, start at that transition. It's basically the same idea as with your colored pencils. Okay, so I have my 3 colors. Let me see what they're called. So all of these are named. This is Aspiration Yellow. This one is Pacific Blue, and then I have Glitter Shamrock. And when you're blending with gel pens, you always want to keep the tips off of them so that you can just come back and keep alternating from one to the other. So I'm just going to show you real quick how to blend, and we'll just do like maybe this right here. So we're going to start with the blue. And you want to make sure that you're covering all of the white with your initial color. I just love how these go down on the paper. It's so soothing. And then you want to start this green right up here at that transition and just pull that down. Notice I'm going in very small circular motions. And then I'm going to come in here and blend in some of that yellow. And that is how you blend with gel pens. I need to come back over here. I may have let this dry too much, so I'm going to come over and lay a lot of this color down and pull this down to about the same place as I did on the other side. And then come back in with my yellow. And you really want to blend that out where the transition is. And I probably want to make this look a little bit better here. That looks much better. And the same on the other side. And just do this circular motion again all the way down till you get into the other color. But that is what it looks like to blend gel pens. Let's go ahead and maybe do one more here to the inside. Actually, okay, so maybe the thicker ones. So we could start here with blue. And then come back in here with green. And I was much better at that transition that time, if you could see that. You just have to, after you start doing it, you will get used to the way that they flow, and it will become much easier. And then just keep alternating the colors. And then come back with yellow. And you really want to go over that transition line. And look how much better of a blend I got there than I did on the outside. And if you want to do this on a mandala, maybe pick up a book like this or any other mandala book and practice in one that you don't really think that you really want to color, but you want to apply it to another one in the book. That's usually what I do. Oh my gosh, I'm going to want to finish this now. And look how pretty that is. And like I said, I've had these pens for years, I think maybe 3 years now, and they're still working wonderfully. I've not even replaced or used the refills yet. Both of them come with refills, and I've not even used those yet at all. Let me see if I can go ahead and just finish this off, because I want to show you just one more thing. And I do usually go from the darkest color into the lightest color. And it's really neat because you just kind of feel like you're painting. And so the other thing, or the last thing, that most people use their gel pens for is just to really create that glitter effect on any coloring page you might have, and you just want to see something look like it is just popping, or maybe you've got a girl on a page and you're all done coloring her and she has some earrings on and you just want to add a little bit of bling to her. So if you look at this one, she does actually have some jewelry on, so you could see her little bracelets right here. I'll hold it closer to the camera, but I used silver for her bracelets to make it look a little bit more metallic, and I did the same thing on her belt, and then over here on this bracelet. And on the van, there were all these little dots all around here, and I just used my silver gel pen to be able to do that, just to give it a little bit of some extra bling. And I also did the same thing with a white gel pen all around here, all of these little dots, just to really make them stand out on top of that black. And I could have done that with silver too, but I thought the white would look much nicer. And these gel pens are really great because you always will know that you're not picking up a gray and you're picking up a silver, because there's one in here I would have thought was silver and it's called Modern Gray. This one is actually called Silver Lining, so I know that it's the silver. If we really wanted this to stand out, we could just come in here and color all of this in with silver and it would look really cool. So I can just come in here with the silver, and I didn't use gold because I used yellow. And the other gel pens that are really, really amazing are the Pentel ones, and I can't think of the exact name of those right now, but they are amazing. The only reason I don't use them that often is because they change colors. And if I'm coloring with my gel pens, I don't want the color to look different than it actually is. If I'm laying down silver, I don't want it to look red, and I think that their silver one, if I'm not mistaken, turns red. One of them turns red, and I used it on a coloring page and I didn't like how it turned out, but the way that they flow is just amazing. And then we could do the same thing up here. Okay, so that gel pen just stopped running on me, and so that was a really great opportunity for me to bring out the Pentel Sparkle Pop that I was just telling you about. This one is very, very silver. Let me hold this really close to the camera, but look how silver that is. And I think that it changes color into another color, but look how thick this tip is on this gel pen. And the flow is just amazing. So let me come in here and go ahead and just add this. And it's probably gonna look different than the other one. Oh yeah, it's much lighter. Let me get this one flowing. Yeah, this is a much lighter silver. It's still really pretty, but just for demonstration's sake. And I don't remember what color this one turns into, but look at that flow. It just now that I've got it going, it just comes right out of the pen and just lays down there so nicely. And these look like they need another layer, but I'm pretty sure this turns into another color. I just don't remember what. I think it's actually the black one that turns red. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Everything that you've seen in the video, I will make sure that it's linked down in the description box below. So I was able to share quite a few things to do with your gel pens, and I hope that this video was helpful and you're able to apply these techniques to your own coloring pages. I especially love how my little bunny turned out, and like I said, you could take this same technique I did on the bunny and you could apply that to all of the ghosts you might be coloring right now, since it's right around Halloween time and we're in the month of October. Everything that you've seen me use in this video I will link in the description box below, and I will see you in the next video. Happy coloring. Bye.